it's Jen, Bitch in a Hurry, Not So Mystical Tarot. This is going to be your reading for the Sun, Moon, or Rising sign of Cancer for December 15th through the 31st, 2018. At the end of the year, we will be I'll try to get some readings up for each individual sign to give us the energy for 2019 as well. But for right now, we'll just get started with Cancer's reading for the end of the year. You start out here with the Queen of Cups. This is your jam right here. She is feeling fantastic. She's emotionally stable. She's able to receive love and give love. You're in a really good place right now. And like I always want to say, if this doesn't resonate with you, because Cancer is such an emotional sign, check your moon and rising signs as well, because this is kind of like, not everybody's going to be in this place, right? This feeling of like emotional fulfillment and like ready to move on and ready to make a new decision. I do see here, this almost could be like a little bit irrational. Like you might be a little like over the top, I'm going to go like sell all my belongings and live in a yurt, that kind of thing. So you want to watch that. But the wonderful beauty is, because the tarot tells a story, you have the King of Swords, who is the king of objectiveness. He is the king of like, okay, let's really think about this. Did you want to live in a yurt for the rest of your life and use an outhouse? No, you probably don't. You have the King of Swords to meter out all that you've got going on. And that is a wonderful thing, because you are feeling like there is something you want to share with the world. You have some very intense cards. The third card you have is the Empress, which, it can be pregnancy and all that kind of stuff, yes, but oftentimes it's a gift that you want to give the world. It's something that you're like, here. That's why I'm saying you may have that feeling like, hey, I want to give away all my possessions and live in a yurt. Do you want to live in a yurt? If you do, that's super cool. But just, employ this King of Swords here. Take it all in. Follow it all with a good or bad pro and con list. Be objective about it. And if at the end you come out with, I do want to live in a yurt, then go live in one. That's super for you. But just like I said, you may be caught up in a lot of emotion where you're like, I have this gift I want to give to the world, and that's awesome. Just make sure that you are on stable, sound footing. And the beautiful thing is you have the Knight of Pentacles, the slow moving energy of the tarot, but still moving nonetheless. So, and this is also like total practical knowledge. So in your quest to move into a yurt, you're going to be like, how am I going to support myself? If I give away my car, how will I get to work and how will I buy food? There's all that kind of stuff. You have this night to kind of be in your employ to go, okay, let's have a little reality check here, because it's awesome to feel this way, but we want to make sure that we have the reality check of how is our everyday life going to go if we give away all of our possessions and share our gift of whatever we want to do with the world. That's fantastic, but how are we going to move forward doing that and still be a productive member of society, be able to take care of ourselves? Because this night is very, very practical. This is awesome, though. You have the Knight of Pentacles, which shows a moderate person doing moderate things, but being really happy. Like she's in her own little world, playing her piano, doing her thing in the woods, just like alone and happy and doing all of this wonderful stuff, feeling really fulfilled, but not doing anything crazy. Do you see what I mean? Because you have the Knight here who is like, let's slow this down just a touch. So, this person is in the woods playing their piano, doing their kind of high-minded thing, doing their own thing, being really fulfilled, but also probably hasn't given away all their possessions. Hasn't given away their car and thrown all their clothes away and decided to make all their fabric from like leaves that they find out in the woods. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you just want to be in reality here. I think it's great to follow your dreams and follow your passions, but luckily, like I said, you have that Knight here who's like, okay, that's super, but let's just slow ourselves down a bit. Let's enjoy a little bit of that without, going full 100% off the deep end, which is really cool. And the first clarifying card you have is the High Priestess, which is your intuition. So deep down, you know exactly, what's realistic and logical for you to do and what is not making sense. But what in our dreams and fantasies sounds great, but is not making sense. There's a lot of people that want to go like live on an island somewhere and farm their own food and make all their own clothes, and until they try to do it without internet access, Amazon, or any money. You know what I'm saying? So you have the High Priestess, and she gives you all of this intuition. So you'll know what is realistic for you to do and logical, and what's going to be successful for you versus just like, I don't care, I'm just going to go and do it. And like I said, you got the Knight who's like, okay, let's have a little reality check. Let's move forward toward our goal, but let's not charge there at 100 miles an hour. Let's see what else we got here. Now we have some pretty exciting cards. We have the King of Pentacles, which is you will be successful in this shift that you're making, in this thing that you want to do. You are going to be successful because, you have the Nine of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, and then the King. So you're moving forward in this dream that you have, or in this thing that you want to do, or this release, whatever it is that you're doing, you are going to be able to move forward. One thing I want to caution you against here is picking up burdens that don't belong to you or extra responsibilities. This Ten of Wands is someone who's being burdened, and they're usually burdened by things that are not given to them, but things they have picked up on their own. So in your quest to rid yourself of some of the things that you don't want and head toward the things that you do want, make sure you don't pick up any responsibilities or any things that don't belong to you on the way that will hold you back. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to be held. You don't want to be held back from your dreams and your goals. And this is amazing because look what you get next. Justice. This says it's okay because you know what? You're smart. And justice will be met. So when something comes to you that maybe could be a burdensome thing, you're going to be able to look at that, weigh it on the scales of justice and go, is this good for me or not? And you'll know, and you won't make those wrong decisions. This makes me feel very good. I was a little worried that you were going to sell everything and go live in a yurt. I was a little concerned. But this says whatever comes my way, I'm going to balance it on these scales of justice here, and I'm going to think about it. I'm going to be super, super objective. So you've got the great power here of the Ace of Swords to help you be super objective, weigh this out on the scale of justice and go, does this work for me or does it not? And you'll know right away what is the right or the wrong thing to do. And then the last card you have for clarity is the Ace of Swords, which is a new idea, being open to a new idea, but it's objective. It's not whimsical, fly-by-night kind of thing. So with this new idea that's coming and the objectiveness of this Ace of Swords, the Ace of Swords and the objectiveness of the King of Swords, you're going to make this progression. This tells me you're going to go from this new idea all the way up to the King, where you are able to bring that to fruition. So it may not look the way it does in your emotional fantasy life. Like I said, people chanting, living in a yurt, like, oh, not having to work, eating the fruit you've grown, wearing clothes you've made out of, like, I don't know, cannabis leaves, whatever it is. You have this, like, oh, this fantasy. It won't be quite the fantasy, but it will be a workable reality for you. It will be a workable reality that if you are diligent and you don't pick up burdens that don't belong to you, you will absolutely see the success that you need. Just follow the intuition that you have, and you are on your way. So that is all I have to say for this one. I'm interested to hear how things go for you guys. Good luck, Gemini. You're not the Geminis. You're the Cancer. Good luck, Cancer.